Be strong.
Hello there, and welcome back to another live build today. So what I want to show you today is, the technical term for it is contact view conditions, section view conditions. And what that allows you to do is have a dynamic interface. So I'll share my screen in a moment, and you'll see that when you have multiple sections in a data object, you can decide which ones actually display based on a value in another section. So those are section view conditions. So let me go in and share my screen. And you can see here, just in our test app, we've got opportunities, and I can go in here, and you see there's only general tab is all we have. But I can go in, if I change this to initial call scheduled, now I have a second tab called tracking, and I've got other information I can fill in. So, and if I set it back to no call scheduled, then that tab disappears again. So this becomes useful when you have profiles you want to run, so that depending on what the profile type is, you display different interface sections and therefore collect different information. Or let's say you're doing property and you've got a value where you choose, is this rental or sale? And then depend for those, there would be things you collect for both of them, but there would be information that you collect for one and not the other. So you can put them on tabs like that, so that only the required information, only the relevant information is shown. So let's go and have a look at how we actually set that up and control it. So if we go out, you can see here I have no admin because I'm not logged in as an admin at the moment, because these rules don't apply to admin users because they have access to everything. So I'm going to go and log out and then log in as my admin user. And then I can show you where we set that up. So we go over to the cog for admin and into our query builder. And then I'm going to select opportunities. And then as you go through, you can do this at the start when you build your object, or if you find later on that you want to do it, you can just click through to display settings. And you'll see here, I've got an option here where I've said tracking, so add section, and it's you choose which section you want to apply it to. So if we go back to our sections, we can see we've got general, status tracking, and tracking up here. So if I go to display settings, I've already built this one, so you can see tracking, and then I can say, well, if the field opportunity stage is not no call scheduled in this example, then display that section. Okay, so that's how you do that. So you can then go in, and for another section I can say if the stage is no call scheduled, then we can set up. Now, just to be clear, obviously if you have user permissions set on these sections, the display conditions are subservient to the user conditions. So if a user doesn't have access to the tab that this controls, it doesn't really matter what you set here for that user, it won't display. So if I go and change here, so we're now saying, I'll just wait for that and I'll open it up again. So what we're saying is the tracking section, we want to show if the opportunity stage is not no call scheduled, and the status tracking section, we want to show if the opportunity stage is no call scheduled. Another thing to be mindful of is where this control field is, because you need to make sure it's on a section that's already visible. Otherwise, the user can't change that field value in order to activate this. So let's go and have a look. So of course, on my record, we'll see everything. So I'm going to log out again. and go in as a non-admin user. So let's go to this contact, back to opportunities, and we can see status tracking is showing because no call scheduled. And if I then change this to save the changes, we can see status tracking has vanished and tracking has now appeared, because that's the rule we've set. So you just need to be mindful of those rules and set them the way that you want them. And of course these are on a per data object basis. So we can see here where it says no call scheduled, this one is set to general, and I've got my status tracking. If I go to this object here and I change that value, now I've got tracking but no status tracking. And that's how you can then make sure that I have access to the information I need based on the object type or where it is in the process, and have different things available there. So I'll quickly go back and just do a recap of where those settings are. So again, we go into admin with a little cog, we go to the object builder, open the object type that we want to look at, and then it's under display settings, where you then just go and set what is the rule to display these relevant settings up here. So that's how you can use display conditions to use the value in one field to control what other elements of the display is actually shown. So there you have it. I hope that's helpful, and I'll be back tomorrow probably with another live build example.
You strong.